Moving on to the next concept, HCM trees. Again, very common interview question, define or what are the tree enabled objects in HCM. There are 4 objects which are tree enabled: department, organization, position, and geography. Right? And what do you mean by trees? Simply a parent-child relationship forming a hierarchy or a structure. Okay. Where do you use trees and why do you use trees? Obviously, if you have, let's take geography, which is a common example. You have a country, and then for different countries, you have different geography structures like city, state, county. You want to group them. If I just look at all the cities of United States alone, you have more than like 50,000 cities. So if I want to be able to list the cities, if I just give a never-ending list of 50,000 list of values, it is not something that we can easily search. But if I categorize it and bring it into hierarchy, saying that this city belongs to this state and this state belongs to this country, I then am at least limiting the list of values that are going to be displayed. It is a lesser maintenance for me if I build that hierarchy or tree structure. Same with department, organization, and positions. Now, the other reason why we use tree is for approvals. Okay. When I say approvals, you want to go through a particular level of approval or levels of approvals. Okay. So when we define a position hierarchy or a position tree, we can create this position belongs, or this position is reporting to this position is reporting to this position, like a parent-child relationship. And at every position, we can define, let's say, a position manager, whoever is managing that position, or who is the head of that position, or head of that department, head of the organization, same thing. So when you say approvals, you can use this position-based hierarchy to define your approval rules. So it goes 2 levels up, 3 levels up, and that level could be dynamically determined by the positions. Okay, maybe in HR, let's say you have the hierarchy saying that CEO, you have the CHRO, then you have HR VP, and then you have directly HR manager. Okay, whereas in other functions, let's say in finance, you have more people, where you have CEO, you have your CFO, you have your finance VP, then you have a finance director, then you have a finance senior manager, then you have a finance manager. Right? So you want the hierarchy, or you want the approvals to always go to, let's say, a VP or a particular level. So you can define it with the help of trees, such that the approval stops at a VP level, irrespective of how many times or how many people it has to go through till that stage. Or you can say simply it goes to 2 levels of approvals, irrespective of is it going to the manager, it is going to the VP, or is it going all the way to the CEO. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So to create these trees, we will go to the setup again. It's a very simple setup. Let's start with department trees. Again, the setup name is Manage Department Trees. Okay, so you can create a new tree. Give it a name. Department tree, code SSDPT TLE. Okay, click on next. Click on next. Click on submit. That's all. So did you see a parent-child relationship here?
No.
No, right? So that means I have not completed creating the tree. I just defined the tree. Okay, so to add that parent-child relationship, what we need to do is we need to create something called as a tree version. Okay, now why do we have version? Because the hierarchy or the structure can change from time to time. Again, when we say time, first thing that should come to your mind is effective start date and effective end date. Okay, so now we are creating the tree. we will add one department as our parent node. Let's see if I can find my Sandeep department here. Was it SS? Okay, so SS department, let's use this one and add the tree node. So this is my parent tree. I can add children to this by clicking on add. And again, let's say HR. So there are so many departments. I just pick one or more of them and say add to tree node. I'm creating my hierarchy of departments. One parent, children. Simple. So once this is done, click on submit. And my tree is created. But you would notice that this tree is in draft status, meaning it is not yet activated, not yet ready to be deployed. So what we do is we go to the version, click on actions, set status, and say active. So now we are activating this version of the tree. So whenever you do an activation, you need to say online audit. So what this audit does is it ensures that the dates are right, the time, the effective date and all of that is in place, and it builds that hierarchy and submits to the database from draft to active. So it validates certain things, ensures that the nodes are set up correctly, and the reference data set is done, all of that is done. And once it's ready, audit is complete, the version is automatically set to active. And we're done. So if you want to make a change, you can click on this, edit, give a new effective date, add or remove more. And if you want to discard this version, you can always go create a new version, maybe call it version 2, make that as active and make this as inactive. Simple. Similarly, manage organization tree. Same way, create a tree version. Sorry, create a tree first. SS org tree. Next. Next. Submit.
Are these only for reporting purpose or any other value?
There are other uses of this. So this org tree can be used in recruiting. It can be used in learning. There are other uses for this organization tree. So let's say I create a new tree version 1. Second date 1/1/1951. Next, I add the node, search. Now here you will notice that there is something called classification. When we said department tree, it only listed the organizations which are departments. But here you can build a tree of any organization. It could be a list of legal entities, it could be a list of divisions, it could be a list of departments, a list of all those business units, anything. If I select the classification as department and do a search, it will list out all those departments. If I give the classification name as division, it will list out all those divisions for me. If I select enterprise, it will give me only one, because there can only be one enterprise. You cannot have more than one enterprise, right? So let's say that is my parent organization, enterprise. And then I'm creating the children of this enterprise as, let's say, business units. I want to group all the business units into a hierarchy which loop up or roll up to the enterprise. So I select business unit. So all these are business units. So I can just do Control A, select all of them at once, add to tree node. So this is adding all the business units to this particular enterprise. And this is how I can build my tree structure. The difference between department tree and org tree is department tree will give you only departments, whereas an org tree will give you everything, because anything and everything can be classified as an organization in Fusion. Submit. Again, this is in draft state. So I go set the status, make it active, online audit. Go back to setup and maintenance. Let's quickly look at position trees. Manage position trees. Same way. SS position tree. Next, submit. Create a tree version. Version 1, 1951. Now, if you would have guessed, it will only give me the list of positions. Okay, it will not give me other things. So I can build up my position hierarchy this way. So let's say I want to use my positions from SS business unit. So this is my parent position. And once I have my parent, I can add children to it. Right? These are my children, and submit. Version is in draft. Set status active. Online audit. Okay. Then it's active. Okay, so that is about trees. Geography tree we already seen in the first session, where you can define your geography structure and your tree.